Well, hello there, hockey fans, and welcome. It is a new edition of Into the Wilderness, and for this show, we are joined by assistant coach Kyle Brodie. His first appearance on Into the Wilderness. Kyle, thanks for coming on to the show.
First one, glad to be here.
First one, and you're going to be popular on the show. We like to get the assistant coaches on, so here we go. This will be the one that caps it all off. And what I first want to do is introduce folks to you and give folks a little bit of background about yourself. And this is Kyle, and that's from a few years ago there, Kyle. Maybe two or maybe something like
Yeah,
that.
that's an old picture for sure. I mean,
Uh,
I like to think I haven't aged too much since then, and I don't know. I think my hair's back even too, so that's a good thing too.
well, you still got the Elvis look there with the where you got that the protrusion on your lips there, so some might see that as an Elvis style kind of thing. So uh
And that's just a natural thing. Unfortunately, it's I had some stuff going on when I was younger, and that's one of the repercussions of it all. So
well, it never hurt Elvis, let's just say that. So
there.
North Glen, Colorado native, got your NAHL experience and with the Wenatchee Wild, correct?
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
And that was before they moved to the BCHL. Your college was with Bemidji State and UW Stevens Point, and pro experience with the Stockton Thunder. I believe they were with the ECHL at the time, and the Columbus
Yep.
Cottonmouths out of the SPHL, and spent some time coaching in the Wenatchee AAA program. Decided to go back to your junior A town. So why coaching? What is it that has made you want to take this path?
Well, I mean, after college and then obviously professionally, playing that for a little bit, at a certain point you realize like, you're not going to play in the NHL, which unfortunately was kind of it was something where I knew that after college it was a really, really the chips were stacked against me. But I always loved watching video. I loved kind of analyzing the game, and I loved during the summer I'd help out with a bunch of kids back home locally. So it just kind of all made sense, and there was an opportunity to go back to Wenatchee, where I did play junior hockey with actually one of the coaches that I had. So yeah, so I took it, and it was an awesome 5-6 years. Learned a lot under some really good people, and after having AAA under your belt, like you want to be able to climb the ranks yourself and move into junior hockey. And now all of a sudden you're helping kids get scholarships to college and take that next step in their career too. So it's something that I really just wanted to be a part of.
I guess age-wise, that's a smooth transition. You got guys at some of that same age bracket that you're at here in junior, going 18U, and so I guess in a way, not that big of a difference as far as the culture goes.
As far as the culture, no. As far as the pace and the rate of play and just the overall just kind of caliber of players, I think is different. So that's still an adjustment period. Again, it's nothing that I'm not super used to, but where I came from in AAA hockey and I mean, it's the majority of AAA teams across the country. There's a decent skill discrepancy. So I mean, your first line to fourth line, there can be a skill gap, but here in junior hockey, it's such a tight gap, and it really makes the kids at this level and beyond really have to earn their ice time, which is really good.
Who would you consider be some of your coaching influences? I saw that with Bemidji, you had Tom Serratore there, and somebody that we see at the rink quite a bit throughout the season. So you had some experience under him, but any guys that you can say are that you kind of take their style and are applying it to as far as the way you coach?
Yeah, so in Wenatchee, I had Ryan McKelvey, who he actually went to Mankato. He was, I think, a graduate assistant at Bemidji before he started coaching. So I learned a lot from him, not only on the ice, but how to like treat players off the ice and deal with personalities and all that stuff, which was really good. And then when I was in college too, a really good coach that I liked was at Stevens Point, and that was Chris Brooks. And I just liked just the way that his practices were ran and how smoothly they all went, and how much he kind of had all the players buy in, which is something that I really enjoyed, and that kind of stuck with me as well.
Let's go ahead and recap what we've seen here for the first 6 games of your coaching experience. overall here, we see what the results. The first couple of games at home against Fairbanks took a couple on the chin there. You go to the Showcase, Mudbugs take game one. You go again against the Generals, pick up your first win there. Then you get points in your next two. You get the shutout loss and you get the overtime win. Overall, it looks like this is a team that, at least defensively, has really found a pretty good footing.
Yeah, you know what, and we knew coming into it because we got Ren Morque back from his USHL stint, and then more recently we got Bo Janzik back, and we got Gustav Ozelins back. So those guys really helped beef up the D-corps, which is really good. And during the Showcase, obviously we made a trade for a few players in Fairbanks that helped kind of bolster the offense that kind of paid dividends right away too. So it's something with the way that the season started, we knew that we were going to be getting some players shifting in and out. It was just a matter of kind of waiting for it. And those first two games against Fairbanks, I think we outshot them in both games, if I'm not mistaken there. So it's something
four
where,
out of the 6 periods. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something where we knew that we had kind of offensive caliber players. We just needed kind of, another body or two to help push you over the edge, which is what we think that we got, and we're continuing to build off it. And just looking forward to next weekend now.
You mentioned Ren Morque. We're going to have Ren on this show a little bit later on, but want to go ahead and just show you some of what Ren did, and that was in that game against Bismarck. And we got a highlight here that once I am able to, there we go. I can bring that up here, and then maybe you can go ahead and let's see here. Yeah, if you can let us know what you saw, what was happening here. Obviously, with the 3-on-3 overtime play, a lot of stuff going back and forth here. Not a lot of dangerous moves like Ren did here. Challenging moves, which we love to see in junior hockey. And then it pays off with Joe Cesario getting the goal here. But your thoughts on that particular play there?
Yeah,
Kyle?
of course. So, I mean, when you're doing a 3-on-3 overtime, it's kind of just the way that you're feeling the game out, whether you put one defenseman or two defensemen on the ice. We obviously went with one, and I mean, Ren's been really good from the day he got here until that goal right there and beyond. So just being able to have him get that success early on is really good for his confidence, which is really good for the team. But just on that play in general, like Ren did a really good job of changing his speed. So he was really slow going across the blue line, and then he changed his speed and caught the defender a little bit flat-footed, maybe with Cesario going to the net, which is a really good habit. And when you go to the net with a purpose and you stop in front of the net, good things going to happen for you. And just so happened Joe got a stick on that, and it was a really good win for us to end the Showcase.
Got it. Yeah, I was just going to say that's the way you want to end the Showcase. That puts you over the top as far as being above 500 for the event, and so, I mean, and you don't want to go into a long break like you're on right now. At least for the mid-season, it's a long break where you're going to have that much time without any games. You want to go off on a winning note.
Yeah, of course, and it's something where all of a sudden, guys have a little bit of swagger at practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is. So it's something where just being able to kind of get a little more comfortable with the league and the scenario, and just the guys in the locker room, I think is really good. And obviously winning is going to help. It's just going to help that pedigree, and just that little bolster of confidence is really good.
And I want to play one more highlight, and this is one I asked you to send me what was your favorite goal from the weekend.
But from there, gathered by Despert, over to Kaminsky. Off the boards, but Janzig holds it up at the blue line. Ahead to Mark Snoren. Moves in on goal. Toe drag move, and he scores! Kevin Mark Snoren showing off the hands. And he threaded the needle there to complete the scoring play. Here's the replay. Mark Snoren, after the toe drag, the wrister beats Lavulo, and the Wilderness have cut the Northeast lead.
Really started off with Bo Janzig making a play at the blue line, and able to go ahead and send it the other way. And Kevin Marks Norn put it away with his first goal since coming to the team.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you brought up Janzig on that too, just because we'd been harping on it in practice. The week prior was that when our defenseman would get the puck, they'd take an extra stick handle, take an extra second, half second, whatever it was, to move it north, and we just started harping on just getting it and going north right away. So the beginning of that goal was Janzig just getting the puck and not dusting it off and moving it north right away, just to Marksy there, and obviously his goal speaks for itself. It was a beautiful toe drag and a beautiful shot, but that play doesn't happen without Bo. And at the end of the clip, if you go back and watch it, yeah, I think it was Charlie Erickson got plowed into the post, which is another guy just driving the net there. And it's something where you go to the net, stop, and are willing to sacrifice yourself. Good things going to happen for you. And I mean, even though he didn't get a point, he didn't get an assist on that. Puck didn't bounce off him. Just him driving the net can just throw the goalie off a little bit, thinking that Marks might throw that back door to him, and it's a game of inches right there. So it's something where those little tiny habits are really good to see in September. So if you keep building on them, it's going to be really good to see again. Obviously, in November, January, March, rolling into the playoffs. So it's something. If we can get those habits installed early, it's really going to pay dividends down the stretch here.
Yeah, you mentioned Charlie crashing the net, and that's a heads up, good hockey play, and prepared for the rebound in case it comes in his direction, and so many good things can happen there.
Of course, absolutely, but don't let it take away from the fact that was Mark's first goal, beautiful goal as well. So.
Yeah, and that was the first of 4 of that game. So that's set a new record for the team. So that was a big night for him. Also got the first win. So wanted to share this little fun fact coming up here over the next 8 games. They're gonna be all at home. 8-game stretch beginning with 3 against Anchorage on September 30th, a couple against Wisconsin, 2 against Springfield. You got 1 against St. Cloud all over that time period here. Kyle, in your playing career, did you ever have 8 straight at home?
I don't know about at home, but I know that I played 8 or 9 on the road at a time. So that's it's going to be really good for me myself, just to be able to kind of hang out and get settled in here for another month. And I know for the team and for the guys, it's going to be it's going to be really crucial for us to kind of just create a really good identity at home. Just be able to have teams come into our barn knowing that it's going to be a long game, that we're going to do our best to bring our A game every time. And again, it can help with the confidence there, playing at home 8 times in a row there, before I think we go to Alaska in early November for it, maybe. So it's something where we want to be able to string together some wins and get some points going at home, just before we hit the road.
Yeah, technically that first road game will be against St. Cloud on September or October 29th, I believe it is.
Yeah,
and then you guys got the Alaska trip. So you go on the big road trip, so they basically throw you into the fire basically for your first road trip there. So, but you're familiar with somewhat with the Alaska crowds a little bit.
Yeah.
Plenty in the NHL.
Yeah. I really looking forward to going back to Fairbanks. I haven't been to the Big Dipper since I played there, and that's about as hostile as she gets there for sure.
Yeah,
so
it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to close it out here on just kind of a fun little note, because I know you and your girlfriend have, or I believe your fiance have a dog, and not sure if you've had a chance to enjoy some of the walking trails in the area here. You've got, and I'm just kind of throwing out 4 that I know of pretty well, and maybe you've checked out a few others, but Pine Valley, of course, you can't really argue with what's right in our backyard, literally from the rink.
Yep.
Ely's Peak, right there in West Duluth, and then Jay Cook State Park, and then the Lake Walk. You've got your own water dish right there for the dog to go down and refresh and all that. But have you had a chance to check out any trails in the area since you've been up?
We did the Lake Walk. Is that the one on the lakefront in Duluth? Is that what you're talking about there?
Yep.
Yep. We did that one, and Rosie loves the water. That's the dog. My fiance's name is Megan. But
Gotcha.
Rosie loves the water. So we took her down there, and I think Megan and Rosie went to Pine Valley, I think in June or July, and I think they had to get out of there right away because she didn't bring enough bug spray, and it was really bad that time of year. So now that it's cooling off, we're hoping that it'll be better there. But the other two we haven't, so we'll have to check those out for sure. I know Megan likes to be active, Rosie likes to be active, and after a long day of work in the rink and on my skates all day, I'd like to go and sit at home. So
I get you.
so she'll have to drag me out a few times, but I'll have to complain a little bit the whole way there.
Ely's Peak has some steep parts on it, but you get some great views once you get up there. And as far as Jay Cook, I think the best way to get out there is to take the Munger Trail from Carlton, and just take that right in there. There's a bridge, and then you've got basically kind of a canyon like there that leads to the St. Louis River. So it's really kind of cool.
Well, that's perfect. We're looking forward to it. It's a little different change of scenery. I'm from Denver, so mountains. Out in Wenatchee, there's the Cascade Mountains are right there too. So being here in Duluth, where it's nice and flat, it's nice to know I don't have to climb to a giant peak or a giant mountain here. So I'm looking forward to that.
Very good. Well, enjoy your efforts to go ahead and get to know the area here, and we'll look forward to seeing what you guys put together for the team once we get rolling again for that next home game coming up on September 30th. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you very much. Look forward to chatting with you more this year.
All right, Kyle, thanks a lot. And we'll be back in a moment. We got Ren Morque coming up. Well, hello again, hockey fans, and we return with Into the Wilderness, and we now have as our guest defenseman Ren Morque. And Ren, you are our first player guest for the 2022-23 season, so congratulations on having that distinction.
Awesome, thank you.
Glad to have you along, and I'm glad to see you got the gear on there, so people can get a good look there of what's available. So awesome. Let's give folks a little bit more background on you here, as far as where you're from and all that stuff. So he is a Thunderhawk from Grand Rapids, and technically now his second season, because he did play enough games last season to really consider himself a veteran now in the league. 16 career games, put up 13 points in 5 of 6 games this season. And Ren, you finished the showcase on a strong note there with assists in your last 3. So off to a good start this season, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. Our power play has definitely been one of the stronger points in our scoring so far. And we've got probably 5 or 6 goals out of that so far. So that's nice.
Yeah, and I notice, you look at what the power play is, and 4 power play points is where you have started off there. And I noticed that you were part of the power play as well when you played at Grand Rapids. So that kind of experience looks like has helped you as well.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, so that has carried over really well, and pretty good chemistry with some of the guys out there on that power play unit.
Yeah, no, I was here for 10 games last year, and you have Chuck out there, Gordo's been out there, so it's good to know what guys' tendencies are when you're on the power play.
I did want to ask you about that experience last season, because you were kind of thrown into the fire, at a point in time where the team really needed to get some wins there in March, needed to secure that playoff spot, and your first few games were in Alaska. And tell us about that experience, about how you were able to just jump right in.
Yeah. No, we were right in the playoff race with probably about 15 games left in the regular season. We were up at some points and we were down at some points in the playoff picture. But yeah, just being there and helping the guys get to the playoffs, it means a lot. Yeah,
and you went in once Aaron Pionk suffered that injury, and basically had a big role to fill right away. And it, maybe it helped. Did it seem to help that your high school season had ended maybe just not too long before, and so the transition for you, as far as your skating legs were there, so that as far as helped you as far as acclimating yourself right back in there.
Yeah, our high school season ended probably not even a week before we went up to Alaska. So I was still in playing shape, still ready to go.
you were able to just jump right in there, and the team had a lot of success during that period of time. So that kind of that kind of a situational kind of had to give you a lot of good confidence, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, you can tell that those guys really wanted to win and they wanted to get into the playoffs and try and make a run at the Robertson Cup. So it was a good time to come in, I guess.
Yeah, seemed like it worked out really well. So I did want to ask you about. Seems like you and Joe Cesario, have you guys developed a little bit of chemistry there on the ice?
Yeah, no, for sure. On off the ice, we've become friends within the last couple of weeks. So it's been fun.
Yeah, it's you look at what you guys have done on the power play, and it just seems like maybe there's situations there where you guys seem to know each other, where you guys are going to be.
Yeah, yeah. If he keeps putting the puck in the net, I'm gonna keep giving it to him. So
Obviously, yes, definitely. So I did want you to kind of help us break down one particular play here. And
okay,
I think you're pretty sure you probably have a pretty good idea which play that is. So we'll just roll the video here. And this was in your last showcase game, and this is in the 3-on-3 overtime. And you got the puck, you bring it across the line, and I like the way you made that move to go to the net, the hockey move there, and Joe was able to finish it up. If you can just kind of your thoughts as you were going up the ice and breaking down that play.
yeah. I came up the ice pretty slow. I didn't see a whole lot right away. And then once I got to the blue line, their D kind of just stood still for just a second, so I thought I could make a move there. And then, yeah, Joe crashed in it with me, and he ended up bearing the goal.
And that had to be able to close out that showcase, as I mentioned with Kyle Brodie when we chatted. I mean, that's the perfect way to end it. It looks like.
Yeah, you always want to end on a win, so that was a great way to end it.
Yeah, definitely. And I see the way that so many of these 3-on-3s are played, where you do want to protect the puck, but when the 3-on-3 overtime was first brought in, it seemed like guys were a lot more willing to take chances. And it was kind of nice to see you kind of taking that chance at the very end there to kind of make something happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game than 5-on-5. There's a lot more ice to go around for everybody and more room to make plays. So
Yeah. So you made something happen there. And tell us, this was your first time really playing at a showcase like that. What was that like over those 4 games as far as playing, where you've got so many scouts watching you?
yeah, you try and go out there and play your best, play to the best of your abilities. But at the end of the day, it is still a team game, and at the end of the day, we're there to win. So
Yeah, and to go ahead and you guys finish it off with points in your last 3 games, and so you had that going for you there, and now you get a situation where you guys are this week itself. It sounds like it's been pretty busy as far as time on the ice, where you've got a weekend off, not playing again until the 30th, so you got some time to kind of get to know each other a little bit better, and maybe focus on a few things. If you can tell us about what the week has gone for you so far.
yeah, we had a team paintball fight the other day, so that was pretty fun. But it's been a lot of on ice training, a lot of off ice training. We've been in the workout room 3 days this week, and we'll skate 5-6 times this week. But yeah, we're getting ready for the next week.
And who won I got to know who won the paintball fight.
The vets won. We had vets versus rookies, and they beat us 3-2.
And where did this take place?
This was over in Superior.
Okay. Is there like a paintball
Yep.
area in that? Okay. All right. I
Yep.
was like, all right. I was kind of hoping that would be kind of an organized situation and
Yeah.
not something that erupted at the rink or something like that. That would have been
No, yeah, we went to this out in Superior.
awesome. All right. Very good. Yeah. I wanted to share as well what you guys have coming up over the next few days with the schedule and so you've got a deal where you've got 3 against Anchorage, 2 against Wisconsin, 2 against Springfield, 1 against St. Cloud, 8 games all at home here. This is really a nice chance for you guys to establish some home ice dominance.
Yeah, yeah. We obviously we don't know much about any of these teams yet because we haven't really faced them at all. But it should be good to see where we are and how we compete with the other teams in this league right now.
Right. With Anchorage, obviously, that's a team that you had seen last season, playing up in their barn. You got 3 games against them. I know that they've got a few guys back. I don't think I know Hunter Bischoff, your former teammate at Grand Rapids, in the USHL right now, but still a lot of talent on that team, and so a good chance to get a little revenge, I'm sure, from the playoffs last season.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So a chance to get to know them a little bit better and start rolling there. So I also wanted to talk to you about baseball because I know that when you were done with your 10 games last season, you went back to your to play baseball for Grand Rapids, and guys ended up winning another sectional championship. So that had to be fun to experience as well. Back-to-back sectional titles.
Yeah, no, for sure. My junior year, we made it all the way to the state championship and then played about as bad as you can play. So we were definitely hungry this year for that redemption game. But we made it back to state and we had a fun year again.
Right. Yeah. So that just the experience, I'm sure, because I did see that you guys played at Target Field, and that experience just by itself had to be pretty cool, just to be in that building and to go to that home plate and get into that infield and the outfield and just experience what the major league guys experience.
No, yeah, absolutely. That was a really fun experience for all the guys back home, and it was once in a lifetime opportunity. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna guess that 90% of the guys that you are going to be playing against in junior hockey have not had a chance to play in a major league ballpark. So you got something that you can brag about there, I'm sure yourself.
Yeah, I guess I can.
So go ahead and hang your hat on that. And I did want to ask you this because you seem to have a great baseball mind, and so let's go ahead and just chat a little here about. Because in baseball, all the buzz is about Aaron Judge setting the home run record for the American League. So, how about it here, Ren? When do you think Aaron Judge is going to do this? I know they're at home this weekend against the Red Sox, playing in that smaller ballpark at Yankee Stadium, but he's got a little bit of time to do it. Or are you one of those guys where, I mean, and I can't blame you, I'm not a Yankee fan. If he doesn't break the record, I'm fine with it. But what do you think?
No, I'm not I can't say I'm a Yankee fan either, but I don't mind Aaron Judge at all. So I'm gonna say he gets it this weekend coming up.
I would think he would,
Yeah.
against his rivals. I'm sure that's one thing that the
Yep.
fans in New York would love to see them do it against the Red Sox. So I would think if he's going to do it. And another wild card question for you. How about Albert Pujols? Is he going to get Is he going to get to 700 home runs?
I really hope so. I love Pujols. He's an awesome player, so I'm hoping so.
Yeah, he's been one of those guys that seems to have a lot of class, and one of those guys that's fun to root for when it comes to baseball. So,
Yep.
what teams do you root for in baseball?
Twins. I have
Twins.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to.
So that made that experience a little bit extra special than being at Target Field, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, that was really cool.
Yeah. All right. So awesome, Ren. Well, we appreciate you taking the time here, and we wish you luck here over these next few weeks here, and with the team coming together here with these, getting ready for these games next weekend, and then you got the month where you're going to be at home. It should be fun.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me.
All right, very good. Great to have you along here, and we'll be back in a moment to wrap up this episode of Into the Wilderness. All right, hockey fans, just closing out this episode of Into the Wilderness, and we wanted to give you an update on the 18U and 16U teams. Great showcase for 18U. They finished 4-0, now with an overall record of 5-3. The 16Us finished 2-2 and also stand at a 5-3 record. Their next games that will count will be on October 15th to the 17th. Those are the playoffs for the NAPHL Fall League, and those games will be played at the That's the NAPHL Showcase. That'll be coming up in a few weeks down in Blaine. Also, there is a chance for local fans to check these kids out. And those will be with some exhibition games that are scheduled for the weekend of October 1st and 2nd. And the 18U squad is going to go up against the Select Development Program. That is a program that is run by Sean Podine. If you remember him, he's a former UMD Bulldog, also played in the NHL. I remember with Colorado Avalanche was one of the teams that he was with at one time in his career. And the 16Us are going up against the Thunder Bay Kings AAA. That is a program that has given the Wilderness the likes of Alex Pino, who was with the team last season, also Ryan Fanti a few years back, along with Billy Exel. So some great guys that have come out of the Thunder Bay Kings program that have been big contributors to the Wilderness, and they're going to be taking on our 16Us coming up on October 1st and 2nd. That's Saturday and Sunday. And the Select Development Program taking on the 18Us. So a lot of exciting things happening there with our AAA programs. Also wanted to go ahead and pass along to you the upcoming schedule for the team for the that's the main club, the NAHL squad. That includes next weekend, which is going to be a 3-game series against the Anchorage Wolverines. Friday and Saturday nights will be 7:15 p.m. And then Sunday's game will be a 5:15 puck drop. And for the Sunday game, feel free to bring your dog to the rink. And then the Wilderness, the following weekend, will be taking on the Wisconsin Wendigo. The Wendigo coming to town for the very first time. That'll be October 7th and 8th, 7:15 puck drop for those contests. It'll be an off weekend for the 14th and 15th, and then the team will be playing host to the Springfield Junior Blues and our old rivals in town for the weekend of October 21st and 22nd. And then they will close out this 8-game homestand with a Friday night contest against the St. Cloud Norsemen. And that game is set for 7:15 puck drop, and we have pre-sale tickets set for $8 at B&B Market, Super One Liquor, and Cloquet Sporting Goods. If you cannot make it to any of the games, feel free to tune in to Hockey TV. And we appreciate our Cat 7 audience tuning in to this, and Pete putting us on the air there. Thank you very much for that. And for those of you tuning in on YouTube, feel free to go ahead and give a poke check to that like button. Feel free to share and subscribe the show as well. That helps us with the algorithm and helps us come up in searches much easier. So we thank you for tuning into the show. We thank Kyle Brodie. We thank Ren Morque for joining us as well. And we wish you a goodbye, and we will see you at the rink.